Are you intentional about your time? Are you controlling the day, or is the day controlling you? Let's work on that. This is Hacks of Life. Hi, everybody. My name's Matt, and I know what it's like to struggle with a schedule. I know what it's like to hit the snooze button 5 or 6 times, to not have energy to get out of the bed, to respond to your kids that are awake in the next room or the same room, and you're having to get them ready, change diapers, head downstairs, walk the dog, take out the trash, do the breakfast, take all the vitamins, do everything that you need to do, and then get out of the house, drop them off at daycare, rush to work, get there on time, do the lunch, do the work in the afternoon. You have no energy. You get home. That's when you get your kids again. And then you're preparing dinner. You're trying to have a conversation with your spouse, but you can't over the crying and all these things. And then at the end of the day, all you want to do when you put their kids to bed is just sack out on the couch and watch some TV. Know what that's like? That used to be me. And so I figured out, like, this is not working. This is just not working. I don't have time to do any of the shallow work that I need to do that just kind of piles up. Shallow work that's like that's calling the insurance company, or scheduling the tire rotation at the dealer. So that's the things that kind of tend to pile on, that doesn't consist of kids routine and work routine. And so um, I decided to schedule out my entire day based off of some structure, of people that I know that were really successful and really, really had busy lives, busier than mine. And my life is pretty busy. In the daytime, I work as a behaviorist in the school systems. I go from school to school to school all day. And then in the evenings, I work in groups, or I see clients as a part of my clinical internship. And then I go to school full time in a doctorate program in clinical psychology. And then I also have 4 kids and a loving wife and friends that I want to spend time with. So all of those things, um, that's a lot of demand on time. And if you're not intentional about the time, then you can just be reactive and let things kind of come and go. So what I did was I learned from some of the greats. One of the people that I really enjoyed learning about their schedule was Ben Franklin. And Ben Franklin was pretty cool because, he only needed 5 hours of sleep apparently, but his schedule was really interesting, and he was very intentional about his day at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. He made sure he had time in his schedule for his friends, for social engagement. He made sure he had time in his schedule to enjoy music and the things that he liked. He had a 2-hour lunch break, and you think, well, 2 hours, this guy must love to eat. Well, that's not the case. He actually spent an hour for shallow work during his lunch, so he caught up on that. It's a lot easier when you schedule out time to do miscellaneous and shallow work, because those things will always happen. And if you don't get those things knocked out, they're going to build up. And even if you didn't get them all done and you scheduled them, at least you know that you have that time scheduled later. Scheduling time with your friends and your spouse, that's also super important. There's a great metaphor out there about the stones and the pebbles. And what that is if you have a jar, the jar is your time. And the little pebbles represent all the little things that happen to you, that just come with living a normal life. And that's, the registrations due at the DMV, or you got a fender bender that you need to get fixed, or you have to argue with the insurance company because they're not paying out a claim, or just things like that that always tend to happen. But those are the little pebbles. The big pebbles are time with friends, time with spouse, time with kids, time for my hobbies, time for school and self betterment. Those are the big things. If you fill up the jar and you let it fill up, if you just let it fill up with all those pebbles, you're not going to fit any of those big stones in there. If you put the big stones in there first, all the little pebbles fill in on the sides. Um, and so that is just a great metaphor for how we need to look at our schedules. We need to put the big things in there and be consistent about it. And even if you have 5 big stones in your schedule every day and you do 3 or 2, at least do 1. But if you do 3 or 2, it's not so bad. Tony Robbins was he had some great quotes. And one of the quotes that he said was, what you know doesn't mean shit. It's what you do consistently that really matters and makes a difference. So, try to at least get one of those stones knocked out every single day. Let's say, for example, one of your stones is you want to read more. So you dedicate 20 minutes in the morning to reading. Well, if you read like 225 words a minute, which is around the average, and an average book is about 64. I submitted a book proposal recently. I think they said it was 64,000 words is an average book. So 64,000 average words, 240 words a minute, times 365 times a year. That's over a million. That is over 1.5 million words. You divide that by 640,000, you're reading 25 books a year. So you're reading 25 books a year by sticking to 20 minutes a day. Imagine how much smarter you're going to be at the end of that year. That's exponential growth. Let's say that you want to learn jujitsu and you dedicated 20 minutes a day to studying the craft, learning it every day. How soon do you think you would be very proficient in that? You would dedicate hours and hours and hours to that over the course of many years by just doing a small fragment consistently every single day. So this stuff really, really makes a huge impact on your life. It's really, really important. And it'll make your life a lot easier in the long run, especially if you're busy. And so, it's never too late to start, but also don't set yourself up for failure. Don't map it out to where it's so detailed that you can't follow it every day. Leave time for wiggle room. Try to knock out as much as you can, and leave your time room for success. Also, it's important to know how much sleep you need, because I have a video that I'm going to post pretty soon. It's about hacking your sleep. Understanding how many circadian rhythms you need, and understanding what period of time that you average wake up, your average wake up window for where you're in light sleep, stage 1 or 2. If you wake up in stage 3 of sleep, you're going to be groggy, exhausted. It'll set the whole tone of the day. There's some techniques in that video that I'm going to post, but basically the nugget is knowing how many cycles you need to feel efficient, to not be moody throughout the day, to be able to think clearly, to have energy to work out, and set it up where you wake up in stage 1 of sleep, so it's not hard to wake up. You wake up feeling refreshed. And so doing that, so for me, I needed 6.5 hours of sleep every day. I know that now. I know the things I need to do to improve my sleep, the things I need to do to prepare for sleep the night before. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'll do 20 minutes of moving. I'll get the cortisol level down, and I'll get the energy pumping and blood flow going, and that'll really help me be able to concentrate. So I'll do 20 minutes of moving, that's like running or lifting weights. I'll do 20 minutes of meditation and focus, and focusing on my body, focusing on my breath, focusing on what I want to accomplish in the day and what would make today great. And then I'll do 20 minutes of focused work, mapping out my day. I'll go over my day and think about what I want to do and improve. And then I'll do 20 minutes more of focusing on a craft, a skill that I want to improve. For me, it's in doing YouTube videos and improving my self-help video channel and my Facebook page and all that, and responding to texts. And I get enjoyment out of that. So improving a craft. And then it's getting the kids ready in the morning, getting their teeth brushed, getting them dressed, taking out the trash, walking the dog, doing the dishes, getting the breakfast ready and served up, and then heading out to work. There I'll check my emails and all that. I'll do a 2-hour lunch like Ben Franklin. I'll do an hour for the shallow work. When I get home at 5, I'll focus on my kids and my family, and I'll connect, and we'll just enjoy each other's company, and I'll ask them about their day. I'm intentional at dinner time at 6. I'll focus on what I want to teach them. I usually want to teach my kids something that's a valuable lesson and helps them adjust to the life and all the things that they're going on based off of their age. And then it'll just kind of take off from there. But I am intentional about how we start our dinner time as a family. And then at the end of the day, my wife and I, we'd like to either watch a show together, engage in some devotional time, or read books. I'll leave an hour available for miscellaneous work, things that kind of come up, like that light bulb above the front door that just went out, or replacing the batteries in this toy or that, and just the light work. And I have found that after doing this a while and doing it pretty consistently, I don't do it all every day, but my average day is more consistent like this. I've noticed a huge improvement in cognitive clarity, in focus, in organization. My thoughts are more organized because I know that my day is organized. And I'm going to post a talk about organizing your thoughts. There's a talk coming today or tomorrow about hacking your sleep. But and then, the diet's also important, making sure you have enough energy throughout the day. So getting on a proper diet is also really important. But I hope this helps. Hope this helps you, motivate you to get a little bit more organized with your schedule. I know it's really hard to adhere to advice that seems tailored towards single people that have lots of money and time on their hands, but you don't often hear too many scheduling advices for people that have kids and they're in the grind of life, and it's very difficult. So I hope this helps you. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Also, there's a link to Facebook. Please like my page and sign up for future posts. All right, thank you so much. Take care.